Okay, so a noiseless patient spider is something I can use, and you can decide where you want to put it before or after, but kind of after I explain the voice chart, this is kind of maybe the way I use it, but I can see you kind of using it before you go to the voice chart. Either way that works for you. I give a handout called A Noiseless Patient Spider. It's this awesome Walt Whitman poem that's just two little stanzas here. And then down below it has the kind of writing that typical students would have. So I have them read A Noiseless Patient Spider. And then I say, okay, who gets it? And some of them will raise their hands and they might get really close to it. And I'll go, yeah, you've got that. Now, how did you come up with that? And they'll go, oh, I just felt it. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not enough evidence. It's like when you ask a boy, like, how do I look? And he says, you look good, but he's not even looking at you. So you're like, I really kind of want your attention on my outfit. How do you know I look good if you haven't even turned around and seen my hair or anything? So you need everything to marry together in order for it to make a perfect analysis. So if you're just doing level 1 writing, if you're just describing, your writing looks like this. A silent spider sits alone on a promontory, a piece of land projecting into the sea or water or bluff, and he's apart from the mainland. The spider glances at the emptiness around him and begins making a web, spinning its string. The spider works on producing his web without tiring, quickly projecting something from within himself to outside of himself. Moreover, the spider is patient and waiting. Now that's nice, but what is it doing? It's just describing, it's just explaining what you see. It's like saying, when I read about a spider, I see a spider. Shocking. That's not analysis. That's just pointing and saying what you see. And any first grader can do that. So we're beyond this level 1. There is a lot of evidence in this. You could take your green highlighter, a silent spider, a spider, apart from the mainland is in there. Emptiness is around him. Patience. So you have these ideas that are already in the text, already stated for us. So they're not new associative ideas. So there's no real yellow in this level 1. So let's take it down to this level 2. If we wrote this way, the image of launching, quote, forth filament out of itself reflects the desire to connect outside of oneself. That's a response to isolation. The unreeling of filament, specifically tirelessly speeding them, reflects a steady commitment to what is necessary for life. Now this is better. This has ideas in it. This has the actual direct evidence, so we could color that green. Anything that's in quotes, we could highlight that green. And then we can look for associative language like desire to connect outside of oneself. That's yellow. That's associations. Those are feelings. A response to isolation. Oh, that's a good yellow word, so I'd highlight that yellow. And then I might also highlight yellow, a steady commitment to what is necessary for life. That's a feeling. That's an abstract term. So now we've seen the spider in level 1, and we're kind of seeing that he is trying to respond to his isolation by sending out these connections. Cool. Okay, so that's what he's doing, and we're making these steady commitments and desires to connect. That's great, but we don't know why we should care about this spider trying to connect with the outside world. So what? This is all L1 and L2. This is just association. Ultimately, we want our writing to be like this, the level 3. The image of the spider's perseverance is juxtaposed with the soul. So now there is a pattern. It's juxtaposed. His perseverance is like his soul, which requires an outward movement to sustain its life. It's ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them. The second stanza establishes the analog, the connection between spider and soul by repeating images. Look, repeating, juxtaposed. Now I'm seeing a pattern. Now I'm seeing a Y. This would be pink. Juxtapose would be pink. Look, there's a tension. Ooh, that's a nice yellow word. Tension between the alienation, yellow, association, the alienation he feels, and the connection, yellow, that he feels. The alienation, detached in measureless oceans of space, the connection, the bridge, detached and bridged. That's a juxtaposition. That's a contrasting juxtaposition. And he does that repeatedly. So moreover, the repetition, again, an L3 word, of diction like ceaselessly, tirelessly, need, and patient, suggests that, and here we get into analysis. What does it suggest? What new idea am I being given? Well, it suggests that the gesture to move out of the self is innate. It's a natural occurrence. That's not a burden, but a requirement for nourishment. This tells me what I see and how I felt, why it matters. What I see, how I felt, why it matters. It has pink, yellow, and green, and it is crisp and beautiful writing.